Now, that's my best Piper Laurie impersonation or impression that I can do under the given circumstances, but I think it's pretty spot on, don't you think? I think so. Welcome back to Little Paul Horrors, everyone. I am Little Paul, and thank you for coming to my channel. And today, I'm going to be speaking about guess. It's right there. 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 Can you guess? Well, it is the classic, the amazing, one of the best horror movies ever made. Directed by one of the best directors out there, Mr. Brian De Palma. The 1976 original version of Stephen King's novel masterpiece, Carrie. I cannot tell you what this film means to me. I just love everything about this movie. It's a fantastic movie. So let's get into the specifics of it, into the facts. This movie came out on November the 3rd, 1976. And the cast are the following. You have Sissy Spacek, who plays Carrie White. You have Piper Laurie, who plays her mother, Margaret White. Then you have Amy Irving as Sue Snell. You have William Catt, who plays Tommy Ross. And you also have Nancy Allen as Chris Hargensen. You have Mr. John Travolta as Billy Nolan. And from there you have Betty Buckley, who plays Miss Collins, and PJ Soles as Norma. But PJ Soles, you know her as well from another classic movie from the 70s. One of the best, well, one of my favorite horror movies. It ranks on top with Scream there. Halloween. So this movie itself came out to rave reviews. The budget itself was $1.8 million, but it grossed $33.8 million at the box office, which in today's standards would be $11 million budget, but a gross, wait for it, of $187 million at the box office, which means that this movie was well received, which it was. It was well directed, which it was. It grasped and caught the attention of the audience. Individuals wanted to go and watch this movie because this movie is excellent. It's an excellent movie. It's very well done. It actually is the only horror movie, well, at that moment in time, it was the only horror movie at that moment in time that actually the two actresses, Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie, were both nominated for Academy Awards. At that moment in time, the first horror movie ever. So Sissy Spacek was nominated for Best Actress, and Piper Laurie was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Unfortunately, they didn't win. That's fine. But at least they were nominated, which in and of itself was, at that moment in time, something that was very, very significant. Carrie was the first Stephen King novel that was ever put to the screen. It was ever adapted into a major feature film. It was the first of his novels. And in actually 2022, the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, it was selected for preservation, as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Important. Not like some other films that I've reviewed on this channel, specifically one. Anyway, just to go to show how important this film is, it's actually been put, it's been preserved. It had such a cultural significance on society, and it had a real impact on my life because it was, well, on my appreciation of horror films, actually, I'll say it that way, because of the fact that it was so well done, and it speaks to your heart. Now, before we go in any further about that, another fact of this movie was that it was first the screenwriter. The screenwriter was Lawrence D. Cohen, and he wrote he wrote the first screenplay, and it wasn't accepted. So he rewrote it the second time. They purchased it. They bought the production company bought the screen rights, or the screenplay, 1.6 million. But then it just increased basically to make the movie. Right, it was 1.6 million, and then it just increased to 1.8 million. But it still did very well. It still had a very good return for that moment in time. Talking about 48 years ago. Now, many actresses did audition for the role of Carrie White. One of them was Melanie Griffith. She didn't get it, but Sissy Spacek wanted this part so badly that she backed out of a TV commercial, and she decided that she was going to rub Vaseline all over her face, mess up her hair, and wear this really weird outfit that her mother bought her. It looked like a sailor's outfit. And when she went and she did the audition, she got it. Isn't that interesting? So when she went ahead and she did the audition, she got it by doing that. But it just goes to show that when you're an actor, you really are committed to the role and to what lengths you will go, because they it's a craft, right? It's extremely important for them to be able to connect with the character. And she connected very much, and she said that, look, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get the part, and she did, which is extremely impressive, I would say. So the musical score was composed by Pino Donaggio. So he did the score for the movie, an excellent score as well. And let's get into the actual movie itself. The actual movie does play with your heart, meaning that you feel sorry and you feel so bad for Carrie White, because Carrie White is basically described as a teenager who is not accepted, who is being bullied, has been bullied for a long time, not only by the people that she goes to school with, like with her classmates, but also by her nut job, her religious nut job. We have to add the religious nut job. Her mother, Margaret White, who has also abused her as well. So the movie, starts off with Carrie getting her period at the beginning of the movie, and Carrie didn't know about this. The character doesn't know about the fact that she's women get periods, because her mother, because of the type of religious individual that she never told her this. And you feel bad because when this is happening to her, she is asking for help from the girls that are inside the locker room with her, that are changing after volleyball practice or after gym, and they're just being so cruel, and they're throwing tampons at her, and they're saying, "Plug it up, plug it up, plug it up." It's so sad, and you see the look on her face, and your heart just breaks. It just really does. And Sissy Spacek just is able to capture that innocence and that fragility, but also the panic and the worry that she has, thinking that she's dying, because she has no idea what is happening to her. And then the movie progresses, and it just goes because of what happened to her inside the locker room, the rest of the students are being punished by Miss Collins, the gym teacher, and it doesn't go down very well with a particular group of people, and one of them is Chris Hargensen, who is let's just say a real nasty. You could fill in the blanks after that, or fill in that blank after that, and she just feels. You just feel so bad for her, and then she goes back home, and she's very reserved into herself, but she starts to realize that she has the ability to move things with her mind. So she has the power of telekinesis. And that's what's important in the movie. Now, there are some parts, like I've read the book as well. The book is fantastic, but there are certain parts in the movie that are not similar to the book. I won't tell you what that is. Please go out and watch the movie, and if you've read the book, and read the book as well, and make the comparisons yourselves. So she learns this about herself, and this is learned in the library. But then one of the characters by the name of Sue Snell feels so bad about what she did, and she really wants to make it up to Carrie. So she asks her boyfriend, Tommy Ross, at that moment in time, if he can go and ask her to the prom. And he does. And she says no at first, and then he goes to her house and he tries to persuade her to go with her to the prom. And finally, she says yes, even though her mother doesn't want her to, but she says yes. And, not to go into more specifics of the film, but she goes to the prom. But the thing is that Chris Hargensen, the bully, is also at that moment in time going out with Billy Nolan, who's being played by John Travolta. I think this is his first screen film that he made. And they are not really happy because during the punishment that the girls were going through, Miss Collins, the gym teacher, told them that if you do not go through with this reprimand, I would say, for what you did to Carrie, then your prom tickets will be revoked. Chris Hargensen has none of that. She decides to go against what Miss Collins has said, and she's refused to go to the prom, and her ticket is taken away. So what does she do? They concoct a plan, a really, really disgusting plan to humiliate Carrie and at the prom. So they put down, because Tommy Ross is a very, very popular guy. He's, I guess, Mr. Popular at the school. And as he's with Carrie, everybody knows that they're with Carrie. She comes in, and when they go to the prom, she looks beautiful. She's made her own dress. Her hair is all made up. She looks very, very beautiful, right? And, she's enjoying herself, and he's trying to get her out of her shell, and he's trying to tell her, it's okay. You can have fun. It's all right. There's a lot of innocence and empathy that is portrayed within the movie. That is what makes it so heartbreaking at the end, because you have all of these characteristics that are I would say behaviors that are put into this cauldron of emotions that really seep into your bones, that seep into your heart, and you just feel for Carrie, and you feel great about the fact that she's able to come out of her shell, and they're voted. Their names are put on the ballot for prom king and queen, and the whole plan is to rig it so that Carrie and Tommy win, and they do. And then we know what happens for those people that have watched this movie. And if you haven't watched this movie, well, you could see right there on the screen, or there on the screen, there's blood that's covered around, all over her. She is dumped. Or there's basically her and Tommy win. They go to accept the award. And, Chris Hargensen is there underneath the stage with her boyfriend, Billy Nolan. And then they had this big bucket of pig's blood. She yanks on the cord, and all the pig blood falls right on top of Carrie's head. And from that scene and on, it's just sheer terror. Carrie just loses it, rightfully so, and she locks them all inside, locks all those kids inside, and she sees in her mind what her mother said before at the beginning of this video. When I said they're all going to laugh at you, that's what her mother says to her about her going to the prom. And she starts to see this, and she sees that everyone's laughing at her. So she just snaps, and her powers take over, and a lot of kids are murdered, and a lot of students are murdered. A lot of the people are murdered, and there's some graphic, it's for 1976, and it all ensues after that. One of the characters, one of the actors, actually PJ Souls, in one of the scenes, her eardrum got broken because of a scene with the fire hose. And it's in that scene that you watch the movie that it happens, and she just doesn't react. It just goes to show again the love that an actor will have for their craft. And then she just goes back home. She's covered in that blood. What happens after that is that Chris Hargensen and Billy Nolan try to run her over, and it doesn't happen that way. She gets them too. And then she goes home. She washes all the blood off of her. She asks her mother for forgiveness, and, well, the mother's not having any of that. Stabs her child. Child falls down. And then Carrie kills her mom. Yep. In this really weird position. Like she's contorted in this way that you have to watch the movie to understand what I'm talking about. And then because her powers just, overcome her, the house collapses and everyone dies. It's really sad. It's sad. It's like a Greek tragedy, like no matter what Carrie can do, it was like the fates were conspired against her to make sure that, she was going to die. And she was just a very innocent girl that just didn't have that much exposure. Her mother didn't allow her to do much stuff, have friends, to go out and socialize, to meet new people and, experience new ideas and talk. She didn't have any of that. She was very much, kept away from society. And that's another message inside the movie. It just really breaks your heart. And at the end, Sue Snell is having a dream, and you just have to watch the ending of that movie. It's just the ending of that movie. Everything that you watch at the ending is all real. That's actually Carrie. And the ending of that movie remains in your head. Trust me. It's one of those memorable movie scenes. So so I just love this film so much. It just has so many underlying social issues that are spoken about in the movie, but also it's more like a Greek tragedy, and you just feel. But it's a great horror movie. It's very well done. Look, it garnered so many awards, recognition. It's preserved as well. In the United States National Film Registry, because it had such an impact. And, how many other films can say that? There's a lot, but I'm saying how many other horror movie films can say that? I know one that can't. Go watch my reviews. You'll see which one I'm talking about. So aside from that, I would like to say, what did you think of my review? I know that I went long with this one because I love this movie. It's so great. It's like the script is solid. The acting is great. Everything about like the emotional attachment or the emotions that you feel with regards to Carrie's issues and problems that she has to deal with on everyday life, in her everyday life, and how she's treated by society, how she's treated by her school, how she's treated by her mother. She really is the victim in this whole thing. I know that she goes bonkers at the end and she murders everyone, but you could only push someone to a person has their limits. And when you get a bucket of pig's blood dumped on your head and humiliated in front of people, I think you reach your limit at that moment in time. You're just, kicking ass and taking names, right? So, anyways, what did you think of my review? Did you like it? Did you not? Did you think I just went overboard and just blabbed for whatever amount of time I did for? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe and share this show with other people. And tell me what you think. Again, I'm as I said before and in my other videos, I'm a small little channel on a very, very huge platform. So if you guys, please, I'm here to, express my ideas, to express how my viewpoints with regards to classic horror films, to new horror films as well. And let me know what you think. What do you think of Carrie? Have you watched it? Have you not? Again, comments down below, thumbs up, thumbs down, like, subscribe, and share. And until the next time, enjoy the show.